Brokreacja. Not sure that's pronounced correct, but it sounds very Polish to me, and it is, because we're doing another beer from the Beer52 Poland box. This one is a New England IPA called the Barber. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be better than the others? Or will it be a bit of a close shave? Check out the review to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. It's called the Barber. It's a New England IPA. It's from the Beer52 box. It comes in at 5.8%. It's in a 330ml bottle. Looks pretty damn good. There's a nice little bit of artwork. Apparently they have a lot of them that have different sort of professions on the front. Not much more to say. Let's just get this beer out. So the Beer52 box for Poland so far. We've had two. This is the third beer. Hopefully I've released these in order. And so far they've been pretty good. And it means that I'm quite excited because, one, I love New England IPA. And the Poland beer so far has been good. So I'm hoping for good things for this one. So, beer in a glass. It's quite a sort of dark, orangey sort of... It's very, very thick and custard looking. It's yellow to a point where it's almost goldeny, almost like a sort of, what's the colour? Like a bronze almost. It's very, you can see how thick it is. Very, very hazy. 2-finger, white, fluffy head. Let's get some aromas. Yeah, a little bit subtle on the aromas. I mean, it's 5.8% for a New England IPA. That's quite low in terms of alcohol. But there's definitely some, yeah. I mean, you're getting citrus, you're getting pineapple, mango, bit of passion fruit. It's all the sort of stuff you'd expect from a New England. It certainly, definitely looks the business. Let's try it, shall we? Cheers, everyone. Let's hope, fingers crossed, that this keeps up the good quality of beer this month. Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's got a nice soft mouthfeel. But New England IPA, there's a lot more sort of citrusy and more in the orange side of things. So you've got orange and passion fruit in there. There's another flavour in there. Yes, you've got a bit of grapefruit and lime. You've got all the citrus, oranges, lemons and limes. Passion fruit. I think that's the big flavour, passion fruit. Then there's a little bit of bitterness, and it's just, I wouldn't say it was, you've got subtleness of grapefruit in there. Let's have another taste. There is a sort of maltiness that's sort of almost trying to get through, you know, like the sort of flavour profile of a lager. It sort of underlies it a little bit, and that sort of bitterness in the back is like a sort of, you know, like a German Pilsner. It's quite strange in that the fruit sort of flavours are trying to wrestle their way out of the flavour profile. But to me, it's not very reminiscent of many New England IPAs I've had. Nice body. Fairly soft. There's a little bit of carbonation in there. It's almost got some piney sort of floral notes in there as well. All kinds of mixtures. Have a quick look and see what it says on the actual bottle. It says aromatic. Yeah, I'd say it was a little bit floral and that aromatic sort of flavour and aromas. Perfectly trimmed. Every hop head will be delighted with it. New wave varieties of hop on the beer at almost every stage, manifesting a precise dose of citrus in taste and aroma. Yeah, it is very citrusy. We've got oranges and tangerines and lemons and limes in there. And there's also a sort of undercurrent of passion fruit, which is sort of quite sort of predominant. And there's not much in the way of mango, pineapple, those sort of fruit flavours. And then there's a sort of very pine. I think it's a piney sort of bitterness on the back end, opposed to a grapefruit type of bitterness. and it has a sort of almost a malty backbone to it. I don't know if it doesn't say there. I'm going to get the magazine, see if it tells me what sort of hops are in it. I'm going to have a quick flick through that. I mean, it says the same sort of stuff, citrusy. Yeah, doesn't say the hops. So I'm interested to see what sort of hops are in this. Oh no, here we go. It's got the hops on here. Mosaic, which usually gives more sort of a tropical sort of flavour, and citrus. And Amarillo and Citra. So, Amarillo's the bit one that's the different one that we don't usually get in many New England IPAs. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting. It's an IPA in appearance. It's an IPA in mouthfeel, but in terms of flavours, it's almost sort of hinting towards a sort of a more of a West Coast sort of IPA. But it's really nice. It's pleasant. It's a bit different. It's quite different. It's got those fruit flavours, but also that underlying sort of piney bitterness that you would expect from a sort of stronger or a bit more of a sort of a bitter sort of German lager, which is an interesting combination. It's a good one though. Let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for the Barber by Brokreacja, which is a real bad pronunciation. Polish Brewery, Beer52. It's a 5.8% New England IPA. Very uncharacteristic of a New IPA. It looked like one, didn't smell particularly like one, and didn't really taste like one. So the first thing first is the aroma. So it wasn't as pungent, I suppose, as a normal New England IPA can be. There wasn't a big hit of very tropical sort of aromas in there. You had a bit of passion fruit, but then it was much more in the citrus and the sort of more orange sort of level. But it was a little bit dialed back. So I'm giving it a 12 for aroma out of 20. Then we've got appearance. Well, I mean, you can't, there's nothing wrong with that appearance. It's a lovely yellowy custard, really thick looking, like a New England IPA should. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 for appearance. Then we got flavour. Well, when I first started drinking it, I thought this is quite nice. It wasn't very New England IPA-esque. It didn't have that big tropical flavour. It didn't have that real fruitiness about it. There's an underlying bitterness that goes all the way from the start to the end, really. And actually, the more sips that I had of it, the bitterness became more pronounced. And it's very much in a sort of piney, resinous sort of bitterness. For me, I think not my favourite type of flavour. And the sort of fruit that you get is a very sort of dialed back. Yes, there's some orange and passion fruit, and some of the orange is very sort of, almost like the sort of rind of an orange. So I'm giving it 31 out of 40 for flavour. Value for money, it's a Beer52 beer. I don't think I can rate it anything more than a 7 out of 10. Yes, it's a good beer, 5.8%, but it's a free 30ml bottle that you could be paying £3. This month I'm paying £2.40 because I've got 10 of them. But I still think it's a little bit overpriced for that sort of size of beer. So 7 out of 10. And then my overall experience, I think just because of that sort of piney bitterness, which as soon as I drink it, I'm getting that piney bitterness at the front and all the way through it. And the sort of orange is there, but it's not very zesty in terms of the orange. It's very sort of bitter orange. And that ruins it a little bit. And it means that I think if I drank more and more, it would get to the point my mouth would feel really sort of coated. And it's not the New England IPA that I expected in terms of the sort of normal flavours. If you like West Coast, which I think it's more, in terms of its taste profile, is more like, then you probably like it because it's got a really nice mouthfeel. But would I want to drink more of them? Probably not. So I'm giving it 12 out of 20 for overall experience. So we top those scores up, we get a 71. It's still a good score. It's still a recommended beer, a White Snake beer, but at the moment it's the third best one. So it wasn't really a close shave at all, was it? Until the next one, let's hope we go back up again. Keep on rocking.